Greetings comrades, my name is Gigantals, and as you can see from the title of this video, we're going to be doing a lot of talking about flooding that's been happening in my accommodation lately, particularly in my room. And it's going to involve me walking around showing you what's going on. So I'm going to start off with the oldest flooding problem I had. So maybe I should actually switch the camera. Okay, give me a second. So as you can see, this is my bathroom. Hello everyone. The first major leaking problem I had was with my shower, and it's still leaking a little bit, but they've mostly fixed it by the water pressure or whatever that they were doing. Basically, a little less than a week ago, this thing was dripping several drops every couple of seconds. We had a big pool of water over here. A little bit difficult to clean up around here because you always have water dripping on you and everything. Cold water too, which that's a little bit problematic. But the main cause of concern for the leakage in my bathroom was actually up on the ceiling over there. You can see all that brown stuff, right? That's water damage, and that's because there was a leak somewhere up in the roof, and you can see that there's no cover on this light. But you can also see how on the right of it, over here, there's what looks like exposed wiring, and that is exposed wiring. So effectively, there was water constantly dripping down that wire onto the floor beneath me, and that was irritating because I had to basically modify a cereal box I had with some cling film to basically make a slope to try and catch the water dripping from the light down into my sink. So that's the shower over there has been resolved, but the light up there hasn't. But that's not the main cause of concern anymore, unfortunately. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking this is a big mess. And you're right, it is. Initially, I had long rows of paper towels stretched over either vertically or horizontally or whatever. The problem was whenever I opened a door, it would catch and drag it out. So, swinging that way, this door swinging that way, this door swinging this way, it messed it up a bit. But as you can see, this entire area here is wet with water. Most particularly this section here. If I step, maybe you can hear it. Yeah. Hopefully you've got a nice close view of my laces over there. Point is, this water is constant. My phone. I can't hold my phone without hurting my hand. Point is, this entire section of my room is effectively constantly wet, and this particular part here, it's always soaking. Like if I move this dry paper towel over here, watch. Do you know how many rolls of paper towel I've gone through trying to dry this area up? Like it's a nightmare. And I've only found out that this part was leaking when I was walking around in my socks one night. And as you know, if you step in a puddle of water with socks, it's not going to go well. But yeah, so I've been trying to dry this area out, and I thought it was working after a while, but then when I went outside and I realized it wasn't. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go outside my apartment into the passageway. So if you see sudden cuts, it's because people kept walking behind me while I'm re-recording because someone is talking loudly. But basically, in the room next to me, there was a leak apparently above the door, and I reported it to maintenance. Like it was really. I'll rewind a bit. I only noticed there was a leak there because on last Sunday, I was walking up and down the passageway from my room here to the kitchen downstairs, and I noticed that there was a patch of water, like a patch of soaking carpet that was growing every time I came past. And I told maintenance, and there was a big flooding area there. On Monday, a maintenance guy came along. He opened up the roof, and he turned some of the valves to try and tighten them to stop the leaking, because we could see it dripping down from the top of the door frame. And I thought, okay, well that's over and done with now. It wasn't. What happened was the following day, maybe that night, I'm not sure, there was a massive leaking problem in the floor above me, and that's apparently been dripping down now onto my floor. And I'm going to show you what damage that's done. Okay, so as you can see clearly, there's water dripping down from the top of the door frame over there. This panel was the one that was removed. You can see some water damage up there too. But this stopped leaking. In fact, it was only leaking like a couple of drops before. Now this thing is like a lot more. And it's you can clearly see the water all over here. In fact, it stretches from over here all the way to here. Quite a substantial amount. And you can also see in the ceiling, there's also water damage, which is problematic. And this panel over here, where it's dripping into a rudimentary, it's a rudimentary water trap. You're trying to collect the water. Use part of the broken panel here to prop up this bottle I cut in half, catching the water. It's working quite well. Just need a bigger container. Also had to do this too, because there was water leaking down. How do I hold this? There was also water leaking down this side over here, like over here. You can sort of see the mark. So I put a bunch of a wet towel to try and lead the water down. Sorry, I was trying to use wet towel to lead the water dripping from up there. Actually, I've got to fix that. It's over there now. I was trying to bring it down here, down this side, onto this part, which will drip into the bottle. Look how soft this is. Like, I've got that all over my hand. But, you know, it's the same up here. This stuff, it's soft. Yuck. And so you can see the water damage just all over here. It's causing the paint to peel off. And my problem's only growing worse now because it's coming. No, it was just coming through there before, but now it's coming out through here. Like, I only set this up maybe an hour, like a couple of hours ago. A couple of hours ago, it's already picked up maybe a couple of inches of water that I hope is just tap water, not toilet water. And now it appears that it's also coming along here with the paint's peeling off too. That's not good. But the real kicker is this. Now this isn't actually my room. This is the neighboring room I told you about. Now, if you listen carefully to me walking, you'll see that there's only one flooded patch in this entire room, and that's just pretty much this area here. Okay, so dry, wet, wet, dryish, wet, 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 dry. So only this small area here is wet, basically. The rest of the room is completely dry. That's a terrible view. Anyway, the rest of the room is dry, and the leak is just happening literally up there. Okay, it's literally happening up there on the other side of the wall. And despite that, this room is 99% dry. But for some reason, my room is downhill. And so the water drains from there, it drips from there, drains, long dripping from there, drains into my room. Yeah, now you can see why the paper's all messed up. And the water just floods, like everything here. Everything up to there. Okay, the point is it drains like everything up to there is wet. Okay, that's the problem I'm dealing with here. So it's really irritating because, look, I've called maintenance. I told them about this, and they're not fixing it. In fact, the receptionist is going to be out for a few days, so we can't contact her either. I actually ordered a bucket from Amazon, a big 25-liter bucket, to try and take it, because that thing's probably gonna, I need to empty it out before I go to bed, but it's probably gonna overflow in the middle of the night. So I'm gonna get a big bucket tomorrow, and it's coming in tomorrow. I'm going to put it under there, and then I'll repeat everything I did with the paper towels to try and divert the water flow. But I'm just going to try and put going to try and put a big bucket there to to collect more water and just to try and give my room a chance to dry out. But it's probably not going to work. And the reason why is because the other room, okay, the other room over there, because it's in that direction, the other room over there has a massive leakage now, which means that even if I stop the water leaking above by my room over here, it's going to leak from there, and that's just going to drain naturally into my room. And it sucks because it's not even like my area isn't even the problem here. I only have one of those bottles. Okay, I'm not going to chug an entire 2 liter bottle of concentrated Robinson's juice just to try and get more traps. I can't do that. I have a spare box over there from a delivery, like a proper big box. I could probably maybe like put rubbish bags in that and fill it, and then try and use that to catch the water instead. But I'm limited on options of what I can do here because I don't have containers big enough to catch all that water. And if new leaks open up, it's going to be hard to try and make them drain in those traps as it is. And ultimately, it's just a temporary fix until the maintenance come along to fix it. You know, I'm feeling a bit better. I've got that rant out the way now. But hopefully, by the time you're watching this, my traps will have worked a bit, and maybe I'll add it. I don't plan on releasing this video for a couple of days, but maybe within that time, if something changes, I'll add a bit at the end of it to say what the progress is. But I do hope I can try and drain. I do hope I can try and drain my room a little bit, stop some of the water from getting into it, because the last thing I want is mold to grow. And it's not safe if the leak over my light starts up again. That's not safe. And the last thing I need is the roof outside to start collapsing, or the ceiling outside in the passageway to start collapsing, because it's been what's the word for it? It's been compromised. It's been compromised by water damage. So just please pray, keep me in your prayers to stay calm throughout all this, because I'm getting pretty angry, and to come up with the solutions to keep my room dry, as well as getting the maintenance to fix it permanently. So thank you all for watching. God bless you all. Please pray for me. See you in the next video, comrades. Until then. You know what that sound is? That's the sound of pure human intellect. Not long after I recorded that, I decided I would basically take that big box I was talking about, wrap it in plastic bags, put some channels here for water running down the side like that. See water running down the side here? It's gonna go in there now, as well as this one. And yeah, fix that. Well, temporarily. Still dripping like nuts up there. And this thing is still filling up. How much is... Wow, that's actually quite high. Look at that. Point is, I am the pinnacle of human evolution. I've temporarily fixed the flooding problem. As long as a new leak doesn't open up anywhere. But hopefully this will help me dry out my room a little bit. Though I am concerned that up here, where it seems to be a bit wet, there may be some dripping. So if that gets any worse, I may just put like dental floss up there or something with some blue tack, and I can have the dental floss leading down to over there, where I can follow the stream all the way down to the container over there. Yeah, this is I'm not even an engineer, but I know physics, and I'm a problem solver. So I'm the pinnacle of human evolution right now, everyone, with all my leakage problem solving that no one else thought that no one else fixed, just me. I'm a genius. Okay, so a bit of an update on the situation. Basically, after scouting about my accommodation, I found a storage room where I found a bin that I could use to catch some water. I'm doing that now. Still got my pinnacle of human evolution over here, catching water from up there. And this place also started leaking too. This also started leaking too. You can see a bunch of holes in there now. And I found these in the storage room as well. I put some water, some paper in to stop it splashing about and everything. But what I'm interested in is actually that up there. Because if you look, you can see there's a big crack running through it. And it wasn't that large when I first saw it a couple of minutes ago, which means that this particular panel's collapse is imminent. I'm not surprised right now it's collapsing. I mean, I'm expecting this one to go as well. I mean, that one up there and that one up there haven't collapsed because they're very thin, small. They're pretty much held in place by their shape and everything, and they're quite thin in contrast to this one here. So I'm expecting that to collapse any minute now. I mean, if this thing's really bulging, look at it. Look how much. Oops. Oh great! Now I'm gonna get water on this. Look how much that one's bulging over there. Clearly see that. Yeah, I'll let you know when it. Okay guys, sorry about that minor interruption. Basically the Amazon called me to let me know that a bucket I'd ordered, the one I told you about last night, had just arrived, and so I guess this is somewhat of an unboxing video, but okay. Look at the size of this bucket and the rest of the box. I think it's a little bit of a waste of space, no? But you know what, I'm just gonna, it's a pretty big bucket. I'm gonna use this, see if maybe I can catch some more water, and yeah. So when the panel finally falls in, I'll let you guys know, and I'll probably show a picture of it. But otherwise, just please wish me well, that everything works out.